I won't wear anything without Cross Your Heart. Because Cross Your Heart has crisscross shaping. So I always look better, whatever I wear.
Playtex Cross Your Heart Bra.
Don't wear anything without Cross Your Heart.
From Playtex.
The fit that makes the fashion.
The morning stream. It's totes fat.
Hey, we're back, everybody. That was cool. I like that sound. That was a good sound.
Yeah.
That band.
She was also influenced by Garbage, I forgot to mention. So that'll prick up Iceworm's ears. I said prick up.
Yeah, you don't want that. If you like Garbage, does that mean that you are required by either fiduciary commitment and or law to only be happy when it rains? Is that the deal?
Oh, you're such a stupid girl.
See what you did there? I saw what you did there.
It was very special, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was pretty good. All right. Hey, what's going on, everybody? We're back at it, and we got to add Tom. Yeah, take a bow. To this here meetup of minds and souls so that we can talk about today's tech headlines, which we'll do shortly. It's ringing. Yeah, let's see if some other goofy thing will happen today and make it not work. That'd be great.
Be great if we just get Smiling Tom and Silent Tom, but no Talking Tom because he can't his audio.
You never know.
I do like how his graphic is smaller or is bigger than the white square he's in. Oh, he didn't answer.
Oh, he didn't answer. That's okay. Gives me a chance to save. That never hurts. All right.
Davey Chorus says, "Are you guys talking about Shirley Garbage?" Well played, Davey Chorus. Well played, sir.
Garbage. Ha 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 ha! I see what you did there, buddy boy. Okay, let's ring Tom again and hope for the best. He always tells me to text him if he doesn't answer right away, so I'm going to do that. Oh, I've got 2 texts. Maybe he's already sent me something. All right, Tom Merritt, here we go. Hi.
Oh, hi.
You coming? Say you on. You good for TMS? All right.
You coming to do the TMS?
You come be on show with us? You be part of show? I'm gonna ring him again.
Okay.
Ring-a-ding-ding. Save the show. A little deal there. Hey, check out this fun. Hey, Brian, let's test you.
You don't need to hold your butts again, Zoe. But if you stopped holding your butts, then you failed. You should be holding your butts the entire show.
I agree. I'm gonna play a thing for you, and you tell me if you can recognize where it comes from. Okay.
All right.
Are you ready?
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Here goes. Oh wait, that's not it. Where did I put it? Okay, here we go. You tell me what. I'll give you a hint. It's a video game. You tell me what you think it's from. Here you go. Any idea?
That is the death sound from Mr. Do.
Nope. Incorrect.
From Crystal Castles.
Although era correct. You're in the zone.
Yeah, and it was the ending. It was like the you've just lost. Let's go to your next life.
Actually,
sound,
this
right?
is you just finished the level. Well done. You're going on to the next level.
Oh, okay.
So it's actually a good thing.
Oh, I love it. Whatever it is. What is that?
Did you ever play Pac-Land back in the day?
Pac-Land. That's the one where you eat certain things and doors open and close?
No. It was a side scroller and you were just like outside in the forest with Pac-Man and you had legs and arms like the cartoon had. And the ghosts were on bikes and motorcycles and stuff.
Gotcha. Yeah, okay.
It's a fun little side scroller back in the day. It was actually pretty good for what it was. Okay, there's Tom. Let's add him to the thing. Okay. I think we can do it now.
Okay.
Poor audio listeners aren't getting any of this good stuff.
No, I know exactly. They miss out. You.
Okay, maybe he isn't.
He lied to us.
No, I see him now. There's a picture.
Oh, yeah, there is the video. That's right. I remember
see a
because the
thing.
ghosts had hats. Like they were, I'm on my way to work, but
Yeah.
I might stop and kill Pac-Man on the way.
That's exactly the game. You're totally right. All right. Here we go. Now we really have it.
With the computer, as with any tool, the concept and direction must come from the man.
That man is Tom Merritt of Los Angeles, California, or their parts there around. Hi, Tom.
Hi, Brian and Scott.
Hi, Tom.
Hi.
So
We
you
see
can't
no video
see
of you.
We can't see you. It's okay. If
Turn your camera on and off again.
I'm doing that.
If we can't
Okay.
see you, it's
Not
not the end of the
working.
world. Oh, it worked last night. Who knows? Hey,
Hey,
Why is it doing that?
I don't know. Hey, look, man, we live in a strange time with strange goings on and happenings, and we are just passengers here on this giant train known as Earth. Do not feel bad about your inability to activate video today. Instead, let's talk about technology. So, Tom, here's. Oh, did he go from? Are you there?
Hi, yeah, I'm here.
Oh, now you're
Oh,
on a
wow.
weird microphone.
it's like you're in the ether now.
Hello.
Well, no, it switched my audio.
Now you sound
It
normal.
switched my audio to a new device,
But not camera.
but it won't switch my video.
Oh, that's great. That's what you want.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's awesome. Hey, no worries. It's all right. We'll look at Brian's ugly mug while we do this.
Yeah.
Hey, so that Google stuff yesterday was crazy. I assume today we'll have some of that on Daily Tech News Show, but as always on Wednesdays you come on and talk about the latest and greatest in technology news, the breaking, hitting stuff. What's happening on this Wednesday?
Well, yeah, that Google stuff yesterday was pretty exciting. I thought that the Pixel 3, particularly with the ability to answer a call for you if it thinks it's spam, and then say, who are you and why are you calling, and provide a transcript on your phone while that's happening, was pretty awesome. That alone is enough to make me interested in getting a Pixel 3, just because I love that idea. Right now, I get a scam likely alert, right? Something like that, but this would be a way to feel like, well, I don't have to pick up this phone number I don't recognize in case it's the pest control guy or the electric repair guy or something like that. So yeah, I'm very into that. The Slate, I know a lot of people aren't that into tablets, but man, I think, you know, if they're going to do a Slate, this is the way to do it. It's like halfway between a Surface and an iPad. It's much more affordable than an iPad Pro of a similar size. So yeah, I'm into that too.
I am as well. I think that Slate seems interesting. It's a Chrome. Is it Chrome powered or Android powered, or does
It's
it
Chrome
matter?
OS. And what I think a lot of people are forgetting these days, and Scott, I know you know this, is that Chrome OS is just as powerful as Android.
Sure.
I mean, you can pretty much run anything you can run on Android on Chrome OS, and Chrome OS works a lot better on a big screen like that than Android does.
Yeah, I'm that interests me. From a hey, will this be a decent art tool perspective? That interests me. Like I am genuinely curious about that device, and we'll be happy when I get my hands on it and get to mess with it. What's your take? And I know you guys probably discussed this a little bit yesterday, but what's your take on Google Plus finally being shut down, and the reason being they got hacked, and then they're like, well, all right, well, we'll just shut it down. Like, do you have an opinion about all that? Obviously, I've way oversimplified it, but
yeah, my read on this is they were getting ready to shut down Google Plus anyway.
Yeah,
and they say as much. I think this report hastened its demise, probably, and they said, look, you know, whatever our plans have been, let's make sure we just announce that we're shutting it down now. It's had very low usage, and I know there are people who still like it and we're still using it, but the writing was on the wall for Google Plus for a long time. They'd taken away all its features,
right,
and just kind of left it on simmer. So yeah, I think they are definitely getting rid of Google Plus no matter what happens. This data exposure, which is not a breach. I'm very skeptical about calling it a breach, which most stories are doing. A breach says somebody got into your system and copied data.
Yeah.
Now, there's a small possibility that did happen and Google's not aware of it, but Google says We found the vulnerability. No one else was reporting it. There was no talk of it in the wild. We have no evidence that anyone ever took advantage of the vulnerability. And if you're not following the security game closely, you may not realize that happens all the time. Anytime there's a vulnerability found by a company and they squash it, it was a vulnerability that could have been accessed by somebody, but hopefully they got to it first, right? So I don't think it's a breach. Whether Google should have exposed or announced it at the time is up for debate. I think in these days, sure, Google probably is doing it as a PR move to say like, hey, we found this thing. It was a small number of accounts that might have been affected, but we squashed it. We don't think anybody ever used it. And this was the information that was in there anyway. It was not particularly sensitive information, but it was the kind of information that you might have marked private on your profile. And that's the other thing I don't think people realize. This is stuff that most people marked public on their profile, but a lot of people didn't want to be public, and so they marked it private. And what they found was in the API, a developer could have accessed that information that was marked private if they knew how to get to it. So they patched the vulnerability back in March, and now they're shutting down Google+. So the point is kind of moot. It's the sign of the times, and I think it's actually a good sign that we get very upset about this sort of thing. But remember, you don't want to discourage companies from finding vulnerabilities. If you make a company report every vulnerability it finds, it might decide it's not worth finding vulnerabilities because of the press problems, which would be even worse.
Yeah. Also, just a side note, seeing Google Plus go the way of Google Buzz, and there are other attempts at sort of social networking stuff, bums me out a little bit, because it did seem like if there was anybody that was going to pose any significant challenge to Facebook's dominance in that place, in that space, or Twitter's for that matter, it would be somebody like Google. They would be the ones with the underpinnings and whatnot to make it a more compelling service, or to do whatever they were going to do. And this seems like a sign of, well, that's probably it for, I mean, it may not be, but it feels like that's probably all they're going to ever try to do with the social space, unless something suddenly crops up and they're like, oh, given our influence on mobile, perhaps there's this other idea we never thought of before, and now we'll dominate in that or something. But it just seems like this is them finally waving the white flag, going, yeah, we tried, we can't do this. It'll be up to some small, not that Snapchat has completely done it, but somebody who comes along and disrupts the business from a upstart perspective, and not a behemoth like Google or Apple or anyone else. Like Apple's sort of given up on trying to do this to compete in that space, and I don't know. I don't know if I should feel sad about it, or if I should just be like, okay, well, this is how things are supposed to go, or how I should feel about it. But there are some people on Google Plus who are losing their minds. I mean, obviously, because it's their, some people.
Both of them.
Yeah. all two of them are just losing it.
They keep tagging each other in their anger too.
Yeah, no kidding.
Now I kid with love, Google Plus user.
Yeah, I mean, did you ever find it to be a significant thing in your usage? Did you ever hit
Google Plus stopped being usable years ago for most people.
Yeah.
And that's not to belittle the people who are still finding it useful. I know it's never fun when your favorite service gets the plug pulled on it because it's not popular, because you're like, well, but it's popular with me, and I've had that happen to me, so I know how that feels. But I understand why Google's pulling the plug on it. It had lost its competitive relevance years ago, and it was not something that Google was going to be able to use to take on Facebook. I think what they were trying to do by keeping it on live support was cannibalize the best parts of it. So Hangouts has become a business conference tool. Hangouts on Air has become a live streaming tool for YouTube. They've taken bits and pieces of it and put it in their other products, and I think that's why they kept it around. I go back and forth. I would love to see more competitors to Facebook and Twitter. On the other hand, do I want Google to be that and have everything under its roof? They've got way too much of my data as it is already. So I'm kind of glad that I can spread it around a little bit.
Right. Well, yeah, I agree. It's been an interesting day for them. I'm actually interested in that Google Home Hub deal. It's an Echo Show competitor.
Yeah, without a camera. I thought that was an interesting move. It makes the device a lot cheaper. It's only $149, and they can tout like privacy by saying, "Hey, we're not even going to try to spy on you. We didn't put a camera in there."
Just a sleek, nice looking device. Like that looks like something I'd be proud to put in the kitchen and and have that.
Listen, if it's all about
cool,
ecosystems. Yeah, if you're in the Google Home ecosystem with a Mini or something right now, then this seems the logical next step.
Yeah, I have too many Echoes though. It doesn't make any sense. I'd do it out of
I've kind of fully committed to Amazon.
Yeah,
Amazon's got my.
At some point,
like holding my ear.
Weren't there recent numbers? I think you talked about it on DTNS about Google taking over in terms of overall market share in that space. That's probably mostly new users, but it's an interesting thing. It's one of those ecosystems that truly does kind of lock you in if you've spent money in it. It's not because, I have brand loyalty. It's because, no, this is the stuff I've bought.
No, I talked about that exactly thing on DTNS yesterday. I'm like, I have a Google Home Mini, and I don't know what to do with it because I've got so far down the Amazon Echo road, right? So everything is implemented there, and it's hard to figure out. Like, well, should I switch? You can't really use two of these systems at once. It's one or the other, and it's so embedded into smart home and security that you want to make sure you get it right.
Yeah.
I mean, do we see Apple doing anything besides the HomePods, which have fairly limited functionality compared to like an Echo Show? Or maybe they don't, and I just
they sell that they sell that thing as mostly a speaker.
They're quite a bit more limited. Where Apple shines is with HomeKit, and Google improving its Google Home management, both on the home base is what I wanted to call it for a second. Maybe that would have been a better name. The Home Hub, both on the Home Hub screen and on the Home app now, they've got better management. But Apple's HomeKit, by all accounts, is the best way to manage all this stuff.
Yeah,
because it's cross-platform.
I don't use it.
Compatible.
Yeah, I use the kind of dinky Amazon thing with the Echo because again, that's what I decided to use for all this stuff.
You got your foot in that pool. I get it.
Yeah,
I find the current state of all this stuff super fascinating, the home stuff, and so probably more on that as time goes on. Later today, the Daily Tech News Show will be filled with all sorts of insightful commentary from you and Sarah and Roger, and I might even say something interesting. Who knows? But we'll be on there today, 2:30 Mountain Time, dailytechnewsshow.com for details. Tom, anything else before we go, sir?
Yeah, I know a lot of people from time to time ask me for a list of my equipment. What's the stuff you use? And part of me is a little embarrassed.
What's your house code, security code?
You should send me a picture of your key.
Yeah.
No, I get it. They're like, oh, what does Tom Merritt use for his podcasting? And some of it's kind of old, I'll admit, but I have put up a list at dailytechnewsshow.com/about. The About page won't have the list right on it. You'll see a link that says see the equipment Tom uses there. But if you want to find that out, go to dailytechnewsshow.com/about.
All right, we'll do that now. Tom Merritt, everybody. Ace Detect on Twitter. Take it easy. We'll see you today.
Bye, y'all.
Later today.
See ya.
We'll see you today, later today.
So now we know what Tom uses. What's the baby using?
25. Boy, I bet Len hasn't heard that in a while.
I'll bet he has not, yeah. I bet most people listening to this show haven't heard that in a while.
No, they have no
either.
idea, do they? They don't know.
Google it. What's the baby using? I think there's even a website. what'sthebabyusing.com.
Yeah. Or go Eric Van Skyhawk and his Skyhawk Function album, which is on all streaming services.
Yeah, that's right.
That has a song called What's the Baby Using? And it's tells you exactly what it's using.
That's right.
All right. That's it for that. How about recommendals? How about that?
Okay.
Yeah.
That sounds good.
Yeah. Okay. Well, here she comes. She's coming down the road. I actually haven't talked to her, so I hope she's here today. I
so too.
probably should have texted her. I didn't. But she had a thing last week and schedules, what they were, all that. Nicole, are you there? No? Yes? Maybe? Oh, I see a thing.
I see spinny camera. That's a good sign.
That's
always.
a good sign.
And there's Nicole.
Nicole Spagnolo, all the way from Colorado.
She's busy untangling her earbuds and
things, and I was like, "Oh shit!"
You have little eyeballs on your mic. Are those supposed to be eyeballs on that mic? Looking at me?
No, but I should put little googly eyes on it.
It's cute. Cool. Yeah, I like it. It's cute.
Wait, is that part of the microphone then?
Yeah. It's like two little screws that you
Oh,
can.
that's hilarious. Yeah,
Yeah.
they totally look like eyeballs. They
Yeah.
should give them eyebrows. That'd be the best part.
Little smiley eyeballs. Hey, it's Nicole Spag. We're back with the Recomentals, everybody. We do this on Wednesdays. Recommend streaming stuff and tell you whether or not you should watch it. And the tradition is Brian begins. Brian, shall we begin with you?
Yes, let's begin.
Okay.
This is a 2016 film. And that's all I'll tell you, because I feel like people are going to know it if they know it, and they'll have no idea if they don't.
All right, here it is.
Hey! Keep staring at my ass, and I'll rip your throats out. Let's be clear. I'm not taking orders from you. I'm not going to die with you geniuses.
Good to know.
If anyone in this barrack touches me, I'll kill them. Got it?
Anything else?
I like to play chess. Do you play?
No, actually. But if you want to play some strip poker later. Oh, shit.
And no demeaning, sexist remarks. She's cool.
What is this? No
For a
idea.
change, nobody in the chat room even guessed it, but that is a film called The Fifth Wave. This was a young adult fiction, kind of in the same veins as Hunger Games and Maze Runner and all those other things. This was probably
Chloe, whatever her name is.
Oh,
Yeah,
Chloe, her weird lips. Chloe, the girl that.
Chloe Grace Moretz.
Yes, that's the one.
Chloe, that girl.
Yeah,
that girl.
I like her.
Right, exactly. And it's funny because this was a book series that Tina and I read, at least the first book. I think Tina may have continued with the other books, but I read the first book before the movie was even announced. And I'm like, oh, cool. All right. Well, this will be good because we get to see the movie adaptation. Well, the book came out like in 2014 or 2013 or something.
No, so it's recent.
And the movie didn't come out until a couple of years ago, and we'd forgotten about it until a couple of nights ago, and we're like, "Oh, hey, let's watch The Fifth Wave." We never saw the adaptation.
Is it like an action thing? Like it's
It is.
Okay.
It's very. I mean, it's cut from the same cloth as Hunger Games, except it deals with an alien invasion. Chloe Grace Moretz is kind of your Katniss Everdeen kind of character, your central heroine.
Yeah.
You've got Ron Livingston, who's always great from Office Space and other things, as her dad. Liev Schreiber is kind of the bad guy in this, and he's great.
Yeah.
Really good cast and a decent film. It's
Is it very CW?
It's not. It's a little CW. There's a little bit of a
a network has been like
kind of. Yeah, I mean, there's a little Jacob and who are the two? Jacob, Team Jacob,
Team Bill,
Footface. Team Footface,
Team Footface. What's his name? Oh my gosh. Arthur, no, Andrew.
Something A. It was Andrew or Anthony.
Abraham.
Edward. Yeah, it's not A at all. Team Edward, Team Jacob. Thank you, City.
That's Twilight.
Anyway.
What?
Yeah, no, he's making a comparison, saying it's a little bit like that.
That's the CWing of things, like where you've got a couple love interests, and who is the heroine going to choose as she's trying to stay alive?
Yeah.
But anyway, it's not. Oh, Leninade says, after Coverall recommended Mother, I'm hesitant. Mother is interesting, and I warned you that it was going to be divisive.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that one I haven't seen yet, but it's on Amazon, and I've been meaning to watch it because it's there's like all of these like it doesn't mean what it means kind of thing.
Right, exactly. And it was my recommendal last week, and it was, as I described in last week's recommendal, it's the only movie to ever get both a standing ovation and booze at the Vienna Film Festival.
Right.
Really?
So it
and that's the kind of movie you need to like I've already researched it. Like I know the premise of it. I know like,
you know what it's really about?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
So I like prepared myself for it. Now I need to watch it.
Yeah.
Very interesting. So anyway, but back to The Fifth Wave. It's it's light, fun, Hunger Games style entertainment. So people have been saying, about time Brian picks a couple things that I can watch with my kids. This one you can kind of watch with your kids, the older kids anyway, but maybe not your toddlers or your preschoolers. But
is it on? Where's it at? Amazon or not?
This was a weird one. It's streaming on FX Now, which if you have any of the like Direct TV Now or what's the one that begins with S? Any of the like
Sling.
Clustered. Yes, Sling. Sling is what I'm thinking of. The PS one. Anyway, any of those services that give you standard cable channel apps, this is one you can watch on that, stream on that.
Nice. So if I have Direct TV, I can get this.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
I have Direct TV. I should do that.
FX Now, I think, is the streaming service.
We're still on our 2 years of free Direct TV because of our phones. AT&T gave you some deal, so
It's also playing on the FXX channel.
On the channel, yeah. That makes sense.
Okay.
When they're not showing, when they're not
so
showing.
If you have actual real terrestrial cable, or not terrestrial cable, but real actual cable.
Yeah, you can watch it. You can watch it not at your leisure. Well, I guess you could still DVR.
On Saturday at 1:30
Sure.
p.m.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, they sneak it in between Simpsons marathons.
Right. Yes, exactly. Wedge it slightly in between.
The Def XXX. All right, I'll check out your weird Chloe Larry Moretz movie. She said,
I'd say you won't. You totally won't. I'd say if you're gonna watch anything, watch Mother, just to see what you think of it and the weirdness of it.
You don't think I'd like this Chloe? What's it?
I think you'd like it, but I don't think you'll watch it.
Yeah.
watch MASH before you watch that.
Probably would.
I've decided to binge watch Veronica's Closet. I don't know why, but I've
lost.
I would have to watch that. I would have to watch that show. I'd have to see that show once to rewatch it. I have never seen Veronica's
Caroline and the City binging is what I'm doing lately, and
or that. I won't watch that either. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, so I missed you guys.
We missed you too.
I'm sure you've probably already talked about fall TV. In fact, Brian, you talked about Manifest.
Mm-hmm. Which is, I think, the only thing that I've been watching that's brand new.
So we watched it. That's a stupid show.
You're not liking it?
That is a stupid show.
Oh, see, we're still liking it. We're still on the bandwagon, and it's
no.
It's doing it's like the only new fall TV that is actually doing well. That that other show that comes on right after it with the Blacklist guy, that's the hospital drama where he takes over a hospital and decides it's going to give out free health care to everybody.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Nothing timely about that at all.
What about a fantasy?
Exactly.
That is a fantasy.
But no, we're still kind of digging Manifest.
You know my problem with Manifest?
Maybe this week's is so bad.
Can they have a normal average person on Manifest, please? Even the kids in this are too attractive. Everyone's too attractive.
Oh, it's all pretty people. Come on now. It's network.
I hate
network television drama. It's all pretty people.
I hate that. Screw network TV dramas and they're pretty people.
It's the Grey's Anatomifying of everything.
They really have. Like back in the day,
every doctor has to be a male or female model.
You could watch West Wing and get some frumpy dumpy people in it. It was great.
Right.
Like I want some normal people, dude. Normal people.
So my fall recommendations. Have you been watching any fall TV, Scott?
No, none.
So Single Parents.
Okay.
Funny show.
Okay.
Especially.
Oh, come on. That show's horror. I'm just kidding. I haven't watched it.
You haven't even watched it. You say you haven't even watched anything.
I've only watched Man.
See, I'm all about the comedies in my life right now.
There you go. Okay.
Single Parents and another show called I Feel Bad.
That's the Amy Poehler one, right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
She's
Very
produced
funny.
it. Is she in it? Is she in it or just producing it?
She produces it.
Okay.
Produces it.
All right.
Again, maybe it's just the stage of my life, but kids are little life suckers, and
oh, you'd like that to be a stage, wouldn't you?
What's the name of it again? What's her thing called?
Life Suckers.
Life Suckers.
Well, that's not the name of the. That should be a show. I think it's a podcast. Maybe there's a woman out there with the handle My Little Life Suckers. And she does videos. But these two shows are called I Feel Bad. I believe it's on NBC.
Yeah.
And Single Parents. Again, I think it might be on NBC. But yeah, those are two two ones. And of course, my old standbys, the Goldbergs came back on, American Housewife, which I feel like I'm becoming Katie Otto. So I'm on the PTA now. And it's a whole thing for me.
I Feel Bad as NBC. The other one is CBS currently.
CBS.
Yeah. So
CBS.
Check them out. CBS.
Oh,
All right.
There you go. A little fall preview.
Yeah, thank you for the fall preview. All right, here's my streaming recommendation. Here's a clip of it, and I just watched this, and I thought it was fantastic. Here you go.
When they took the figures out, these kids just went bats. They just went crazy. Everyone thought, this is ridiculous. It's never going to be a hit.
Between 82 and 87, He-Man represented roughly 95% of all the growth in the toy division.
And suddenly, He-Man became, this billion-dollar empire.
All right.
Yeah,
a bit of a
that's
hint
that
there.
new Masters of the Universe documentary thing that I see on the front of Netflix that I haven't watched.
Oh, it's not the.
It's not Toys That Made Us. Nope.
The Toys That Made Us.
Although the Toys That Made Us does have an episode all about He-Man. If you liked
the first
that
season,
yeah, and if you liked that, and you're like, man, I sure would like a deeper dive on He-Man. Whoo! Have I got a recommendation for you? It's called By the Power of Grayskull, and they get into everything, including She-Ra and her beginnings and how they all actually liked her better. And when things started going off the rails, they get deeper into the whole thing about George Lucas getting turned down by Mattel and them going to Kenner instead, and how they had to work their butts off to make something that actually sold well, and thus He-Man. They talked to the Filmation guys about the show. And
oh, that's cool. Because really, the show made the figures.
Well, the figures came first, and then they needed a way to sell the figures, and the way to do that was to build a show around the figures. Is how they did it.
Right.
And usually it's the other way around. It's like a property that you then make figures for. And they flipped the script on this, and that part's fascinating to me. But they talked to all the original creators and artists and animators. There's this woman animator who no one liked to work with because she was female, but she rocked it, man. Like, she was like the best thing there, and probably is responsible for He-Man doing as well as it did with kids, and a bunch of really neat little insights. I loved it. It was great. My only complaint, or maybe question, is through the whole thing, instead of music, they do this weird drone sound. So it's hard for me to explain, but it's never really musical in the background. It's just like kind of a
okay.
And it's very odd. Like, I have here. I'll play a. Do I have a version of this? I thought I did.
Oh, that's weird.
I can't find it, but it was almost like
What's your drone sound, Brian?
It's not quite like that. It's like you're doing like a, what do you call it, box like that.
I'm doing a didgeridoo. Yeah,
didgeridoo. It's not
my
like that.
interpretation of a drone.
It's more like Blade Runner kind of drone, which is fine, except it just is a weird fit. And they played it through the whole thing, and it was fine. I just kept noticing it. So not that big a deal. Doesn't tarnish it at all. But I was enthralled. And if you have any interest in 80s memorabilia or nostalgia or toys or even the He-Man era at all, it's great. And you also, there's a great whole thing about their rotoscoping they used for some of the moves that He-Man would always do, and he would do like it 10 times an episode, and they would just reuse the same footage. You actually learn where that stuff's from and what corners they had to cut to get it, and I just found it utterly fascinating. So it's called The Power of Grayskull. It's on Netflix, and it is absolutely worth your time if you are attracted to such things. Okay. Nicole,
all right.
Nicole, what'd you bring?
Okay, I brought something awesome, and I hope you haven't recommended it. I'm going to say you didn't, because it is a limited series.
Okay.
It's from Netflix. I think you can hear this, but we'll see.
You
tell me if you hear it or not.
All right. Yep.
Mr. Milgram, were you diagnosed with schizophrenia?
Whoa, now I don't.
I'm down here now. Oh,
it's all I want.
What's normal anyway?
Why are you here?
I am depressed. And I have been for a very long time.
It's kind of cutting itself out.
Yeah.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, it'll play for a second.
It's
And then
getting too loud and it's cutting itself off.
You play it.
I can play it. You want me to play it?
I want you to play it.
I'd be happy to play it.
Sorry,
All right.
I thought there might be some problems.
Oh, I've been wanting to see this. Okay, sorry, I cheated and looked at the name. Here's the. I'll play it for real. Okay, here we go.
Mr. Milgram, were you diagnosed with schizophrenia 10 years ago?
A normal life, that's all I want.
Now, what's normal anyway?
Why are you here?
I am depressed. And I have been for a very long time.
I believe in this treatment, and I believe that we can all be fixed.
I need help. Sounds stupid.
That doesn't sound stupid to me.
All right, I want to see this. How is it?
I don't know anything about that. What is that?
So this is Maniac on Netflix. That was Jonah Hill that you heard, along with Emma Stone, Jennifer Aniston's ex-husband now. He was also in The Leftovers. I don't know his name.
Oh, yeah, Justin Theroux?
Justin, yeah.
Yes.
He's in it as well.
He's also kind of in Star Wars, kind of.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Hey, do you know why Justin Theroux has left Jennifer? What's her name? Do you know why? I can tell you why. She has bad milk breath. Anyway, go ahead. Go ahead.
All right. So, I think it's 10 episodes. I will let everyone know that this deals with heavy subjects, but it was so beautifully done. Oh, Sally Field's in it too.
Oh, all right.
So
I like her.
I binged it. I was watching like 4 episodes a night. It was just, it just grabbed me. It's funny. Am I doing some major feedback? What's going on?
There's a little tiny bit of echo. I didn't know if that was coming from you.
It's her. It's some kind of weird. You got a Mark problem, I think. Mark screwed you up somehow.
I'm some stuff around and.
It's just yell Mark.
It's funny, you plug things in the way it was, and it still gets all messed up.
Yeah.
But so anyway, it deals with heavy topics like you'd heard, depression, mental health issues. I appreciate the way it attacked and discussed mental health. It's funny because I feel like I was kind of primed. There's a video going around of Jonah Hill and him going on talk shows and everyone like totally making him feel like crap. And he's just sitting there like, like talking about his weight, talking about how he's not as good looking as Brad Pitt. It's like, it's a whole montage of just comedians just attacking him. And he just looks so sad. And I kind of had that Jonah Hill in my head as I started to watch this, because that is how he is in this miniseries, I guess it is.
He's a Slim Jim in this. He's all skinny right now. Yeah.
You said 10 episodes?
I think it's 10 episodes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's a limited series. So Jonah Hill's character, he has schizophrenia. And you can tell he's just struggling. He's struggling. He has a shitty family. But he comes from money.
Yeah.
And Emma Stone's part in all of this. Oh, and it's so weird because it's like a futuristic world where technology, they have this thing called Ad Buddy. So you can't pay for something. You can sign up to pay for it with Ad Buddy. And what that means is somebody comes to you and they sit next to you and they read you ads.
Oh, God. Really?
Wow.
So it's like freemium. Life is freemium all of a sudden.
So interesting. And it's a kind of a high-tech world, but for whatever reason, there's like all these CRT tube TVs. I don't know what's going on.
Cool. I like that. That's cool. Are you not done with it yet? Because I hear this stuff at the end that may help make sense of some of that. I don't know.
I'm finished with it.
Oh, you're done.
Amazing.
Oh, okay.
I loved it. All
right.
Like I said, if you have, there are some triggers for people that do struggle with, depression and things like that. But I loved it. And what the main story is, they go into this kind of study, and they're taking these pills to help them find their trauma in life and address it. And there's like a whole thing around that in this kind of study that they're part of, this clinical trial that they're trying to fix the brain. and what does that mean, and what does it look like, and yeah, I really loved it. It's really good.
Cool.
Yeah,
So
really cool. I'm adding it to my list. It sounds really good.
Been on my list for a while, and I just need to dive in, I guess.
yeah, just watch the first episode. It's only like 30 minutes, and that's a lot of times how I approach a lot of shows now. Like if the first one or second one doesn't hook me, I'm like, okay, well, and this one hooked me. I loved it.
Well, there's your problem with Manifest. Doesn't get good until the 34th minute.
Yeah. You got to go 34 minutes in and then forget that everyone looks like supermodels, and you'll love it.
Then it's like, oh, this is Lost. Yeah, okay.
Yeah. See, even in Lost, it wasn't all pretty people. There were pretty people in Lost, but there were some gritty, grimy, Charlie's kind of ugly. Freaking what's his name's big dude. Like everybody looks a little off and normal. I need that in shows more. Network shows.
Welcome to the way entertainment's going to be forever. Let's just put your head down and tuck in and get ready for it.
I don't know if I agree. I think there'll be a little bit of a swing back, and we're seeing it in other shows, like other formats, just not network TV. Now, if network
look
TV,
at both Bosch and Goliath. neither one of those guys is terribly great looking.
Plus, nobody in those shows is great looking across the board. They're all kind of gnarly looking. Everybody on HBO shows are just kind of averagey and weird looking. Like nobody's perfect anywhere except for the 4 top networks. And I don't understand it.
Actually, that's true. Yeah, the terrestrial networks.
I don't get
still think this is the way to do it. Yeah.
Oh, so one of the other things about this Maniac show, they go into different realities. So they play out scenarios in their brains, and we get to see it all. So one of my favorites is they play a couple from New Jersey. And like it'll make sense. Like it's all these fantasies that they Jonah Hill and Emma Stone play out, and it's just really well done. I loved it. I loved it. So it's not just them being in a lab. It's like you're going places, and different stories get to kind of pop up and play out. So, and I did take your recommendation, Scott. Mateo and I started watching Hilda.
Oh, what do you think?
Oh, cool.
It's wonderful.
Isn't
it's
it?
Such a whimsical. Mateo loves it.
Yeah, I knew he'd probably glam right on. I was talking to Steve Hammaker about it, and he started watching it with his son, and they got so into it. They've ordered the books that it's based on, and like there's
it was based on books.
Yeah, it's based on some graphic novel stuff that the creator made, and then that's what got them the deal for the TV thing. But it's so well executed, so just it just takes your imagination in places that I'm not used to lately. What a beautiful, awesome thing it is. I love it so much.
Cool.
Yeah, we're enjoying it.
It's so good. Well, I hope they keep making those. And isn't the music cool? Like, that's the one big surprise. I didn't expect it to have such cool music. And those weird giants, like there's like a mountain that's been there for thousands of years waiting for the other giant to get. Oh, I just love that stuff. It's so good. Anyway.
The trolls.
Yeah, sorry, Jeannie corrects us. Graphic novels are not books. I that is true.
You can buy them at a bookstore. They're books.
Yeah. Genie fight. I want to see a genie fight. Anyway, watch Hilda. It's fantastic. And double recommendation for that. All right. Next week we'll do more, as always. And between now and then, Nicole posts what these were today on her Twitter account, @NicoleSpag. So I would recommend following her there. Nicole, have a fantastic rest of your day.
Bye.
And bye, cute microphone looking at us. Bye.
Oh, thank goodness. I was feeling a little weird that microphone's staring at us the whole time.
I know, he just kept looking at us. By the way, Ars Technica did not have nice things to say about the new Pixel XL3 or Pixel 3 hands-on.
Oh, really?
Yeah, this bums me out because I am always kind of waiting for, all right, what Android phone is finally going to make me interested? Like, which one's going to get me there? And I always think maybe the ones from Google will do it, and people have been, fond of the Pixels in the past. The Pixel 3 says, does not make a good first impression. The hardware's janky, the back scratch is super easy, doesn't buff out. They think it's all about the software, so that's, whatever, something to look forward to. Says the charge is really slow. Blah, blah, blah. They don't like it. So, I don't know. Whatever. Excuse me. Hey, let's move on.
Sure.
We're going to be done.
That'll be on a mashup, I think.
Probably. We're done. Let's get out. Hey, do you want to, do you have anything else to say before we do a song? You got like a thing? Anything going on? Today at Coverville, we'd already talked about it, 1 o'clock.
We talked about what's today in Coverville. Oh, your episode of Soundography is going to go up today probably as well. We moved Soundography to a new server, so I'm actually hosting that one myself now on an unmanaged server droplet.
Yeah.
Which is kind of fun because you don't get any of the cPanel stuff. You kind of have to make your own. It's an MYO situation.
Yeah.
But anyway, soundography.com. Currently, Tom's episode is the most recent one, and yours will be going up, like you said, some point today, maybe tomorrow morning.
Okay. Great. You guys can hear about my weird fascination with a very obscure artist from the 80s.
Yeah. It's a whole musical genre that you never would expect Scott to recommend. I love that.
And I'm into it. In fact, talking to you got me all, I'm going to go relive some of this again. And I went back. I went deep. Patrick O'Hearn and all. Cool. Oh, it's so good. Anyway, all right. So that's all good. Don't forget you can vote on today's show titles, Shy Show titles. Everybody in the chat.
Shyla show title.
Shyla Show. Frogpants.showbot.tv is the address. You've been seeing it in the chat room, so you're probably already there. You can support this show at patreon.com/TMS. And as always, frogpants.com has everything you need. If you go /TMS, it'll get you even quicker. But go look at it all. There's tons of shows to listen to, different kinds of stuff, and some rad new art. I put up a comic yesterday about the USB cable family. If that sounds weird, well, you should go read it and see what you think over there at frogpants.com. All right, we're done.
Very good.
We shall now exit the building. But we need a song first. I can't do it without a song.
With a tune.